Yo, 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 what is up, guys? Chili Philly here, and today we're going to be ranking all the cards in Clash Royale. But if you do enjoy these videos, guys, please leave a like and subscribe. We are super close to 2,000 subscribers. I'll probably have some kind of special video coming out for that, but I just want to say thanks again, and let's get this started. So we'll start off with the Evo Archers, and we'll put them in... It's hard not to put them in S tier. They are pretty great, but they're not the best evolution. And by the way, guys, I'm not going to rank these based on, like which one's better necessarily. Maybe just S tier, I will. But yeah, I'm going to leave the Evo Archers in S tier. For regular Archers, I'll put them in B. They are pretty good for 3 elixir, good value. Next up is the Queen. I will put in A tier. It's not S tier, but definitely is not a great time for the Queen. It still is an amazing card, though. Next up, Evo Barbs. I'll put them in S tier. I'll put them ahead of the Evo Archers, which I don't really know if is the case anymore, honestly, but I'm just going to leave them like that for now. Next up, Evo Bats. I'll put them in A. They're honestly not as good as the other Evos. And then we're just going to follow up with regular Bats, and I'll go in C tier. Next up is the Battle Healer. We don't talk about that. It's not too great. Alright, coming up next, Dark Goblin. It's not as good as it used to be. I mean, it didn't really get a nerf or anything, but I'm just going to leave it in B tier. Don't think the Dark Goblin's been, in the best spot for a little while now. Next up is just a clone. We're just going to put that there. We don't have to talk about that. The Cannoneer is an A or S tier. I still don't really have it, guys. It's so low level that it doesn't matter, but we're just going to put it in S. Alright, let's keep it going. Bandit will go in B tier, probably high B tier. I'm not really ranking them, but the Bandit is, B plus, A minus. I don't really know. I don't want to put it in A. I think it's B worthy. Alright, next up, the Dark Prince. I'll put it in B or C tier. I don't really know. I'll put it in B. I don't really see it used too much anymore, so yeah. Shout out to the Dark Prince, I guess, but the Pump. The Pump is in a decent spot right now. I'll put it in C tier. I would put it up higher. I love the Pump, but I don't want to be biased. So C tier seems pretty nice for the Pump. Next up, the Bomb Tower. Bomb Tower is pretty solid. It has been for a while. I will put it in A tier. So yeah, we're gonna leave it there. Next up, E-Spirit. Probably an A or B tier. I'll put it in B tier for now. Elixir Golem has made a comeback this meta, so I'll put it in C tier, probably high C tier, honestly. But alone, it's not the greatest, but with this not giant skeleton, with the Skelly King deck going around right now, it is pretty broken, so... Alright, next up is the Bomber. I don't think they have the Evolution one here, so we're just going to act like this is the Evolution one, guys. We're going to act like that's the Evolution one. Put it in S tier. Alright, next up is the E-Giant. Put it in C tier, maybe D tier. I don't know. It's not too great right now either. I don't really see it used at all. And same thing with this card, Balloon, but I'll put it in C because it's really not great, guys. Really not the best. Alright, let's keep it going here. Battle Ram we'll put in D tier. Just not great anymore. Fire Spirit, definitely in probably C tier, maybe low B tier. It does more damage than the E-Spirit, but it provides so much more, so much less value. It only provides more damage, so, Next up, Cannon. I don't know. I want to put it in A with the Bomb Tower, but you definitely don't see it as much. I'll give it a B+, but I'll leave it in A. Executioner, we'll put in C tier. It's making a little bit of a comeback, but not too much. Evo Firecracker is definitely not as broken as it used to be, so we're going to put it in A. The regular Firecracker is, I'll put it in C. I don't think it's that great. Cannon Cart, it's a decent card. I really want to put it in D tier, so I am. And let's see, we already did the Bomb Tower. I'm not sure what that is right there. I don't know what this thing is here. We're just going to leave it. But next, the Goblins. Probably A tier. Provide a lot of value for 2 elixir, and they do so much damage. Goblin Cage we'll put in D tier. Next up, Earthquake. It's definitely not as good as it used to be. The Hog meta is gone. We're going to put it in D tier for right now. And next up, what do we have? We'll go with the Furnace. Put it in F tier. Same with the Barb Hut. Or just put him, yeah, we'll just leave him there. I guess I'll do this to the Battle Healer. It's not like, people still use it, but it's just a terrible card. This card got punished. I feel like the Golden Knight is just not used anymore. You really don't see it, but it's a very average card, I feel like, but there's just so many better champions. So we're going to leave it in C tier. The Bowler we're going to put in B tier, B plus tier. It could be, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty good right now. Flying Machine I'll put in B or C. Which one am I going to pick? Probably B tier. Next up is the Freeze. We don't have to talk about it. Alright, arrows will go into S tier. So we'll take a look right now, guys. This is what we have so far. I'll let it sit here for a few seconds. But let me know down below what you guys would change. And, I'm kind of going pretty quick here, so I would probably make a few changes. But overall, it looks pretty decent so far. Alright, next up, Giant Skeleton. It's still in C tier, to me at least. I mean, I don't think it's fantastic, but it's pretty average. Next up is the Barrel. The Barrel's been in a bad place for a while. The Goblins just keep getting nerfed, and there's so many counters now, especially with the Evo Bomber out. Just added another counter, so it's very difficult with all the arrows, log, and Evo Bomber around. And the Evo Skellies counter it too, so it's tough out here for log bait players these days, I will say. And I think the worst of all Evos right here is the Evo Ice Spirit. I'll put it in C tier. It's good in certain matchups or against like Sparky, Inferno Dragon when it's close to your tower, but other than that, it doesn't provide the most value compared to the other Evos. So we're just going to put it in C tier for now. Next up, the Log. We're going to put it in B. It's not as good as it used to be. It just doesn't do damage, but it's still a great card. Next up, the Giant. Pretty average card, right in C tier. Bar Barrel, we'll put in D. Not as popular anymore. Alright, regular Ice Spirit. Honestly, I'll put in B tier. I guess I have to put the Evo in B tier as well. If you're going to put the regular one in B tier, right? Alright. Let me think here for a second. Graveyard. In the Cannoneer meta, I'll put it in, it should be an A card regardless. It's RNG based, and it's very difficult to stop if you get the proper push. But, yeah, we're going to leave it right in A tier for now. Next up, Guards. I will put in C tier. Don't have too much to say. They're a pretty good card. And this is the best card in the game right here, the Evo Knight. We're going to put it in front of everything else. Evo Knight is the best card in the game, no question about it. If you ask me, other people might say differently. Next up, Lava Hound. The Lava Hound itself is pretty bad if you ask me. I don't know what much else to say about it. I do enjoy playing a little bit of Lava, but, the Lava Hound is not in a good spot, especially if there's no proper, no good decks this meta, honestly, so we're going to leave it in D tier. Golem, I'll put it in C tier. I still see it around, even though it's not the greatest. Golem Pump, Golem Night Witch I see, but that's really it. Heal Spirit, I just gotta put it in F tier. I just don't like the Heal Spirit. Sorry, guys. If you like the Heal Spirit, let me know down below. Next up, Minion Horde, right in a D tier. There's so many counters for it. So we'll put the minions in C tier. They're pretty good, but I'd rather take the minions over the Minion Horde, honestly, but that's just me. Shout out to the heal spell. It's all gone now, but we're just going to put it there. Next up, we have the Lightning. Now, this is a tough one. It's not too popular. It's in a couple Goblin Giant decks, but I guess you have to put it in C tier. It still is decent, but just not too many people use it, I feel like, anymore. The Hog Rider, I feel like for the first time ever, is in possibly in B tier, just because Hog EQ is so dead right now, guys. I mean, honestly, I don't know what else to say, but Hog Rider is just not in a good place. It's still a great card, don't get me wrong, but we're gonna put it in B tier, high B tier. It's a B plus A card. I mean, either way, guys, it probably is an A card still, but I'm just gonna leave it there. All right, next up is the drill. The drill right now is completely broken. We're putting it into S tier. Yeah, it's running rampant right now on ladder and, an ultimate champion. But, all right. Next up, Inferno Tower is C tier. It's always been a solid card. It's just, it's not as popular anymore. It has a lot of health, but other than that, it's a single target, so. Next up, Goblin Giant. We will put the Goblin Giant in B tier. It's definitely not as good this season compared to last season. Alright, We'll go with the Night Witch, and we'll put it in C tier as well. It's only used with the Golem and Elixir Golem now, so. And it's not bad, but it definitely provides a lot of value with all the bat spawning in certain archetypes, but other than that, it's an average card. Next up, Ice Golem. Not used really in any decks besides 2.6. So we're going to leave it in D tier. Alright, next up is the Electro Dragon. Where do I want to put the Electro Dragon? C or D tier, honestly. I'll put it in D because it's just not in a good place right now. It has the stun effect as the only thing it's got going for it. Alright guys, let's take a look at what we have right now. The Evo Knight is definitely the best, and I'll go down slow so you guys can see everything, and I'll go back up. I mean, we don't have that many cards done, but we're probably about halfway there. Actually, yeah, we're getting close. Let's see. We have a decent amount of cards left. Alright, next up we're going to do the E-Barbs. The E-Barbs are a B tier card, even if they're no skill and pretty easy to counter. If you can, get the right counter push with them, or, get it to work for you. They're very strong, very strong. Next up, Ice Wizard, D tier. Very bad spot for the Ice Wizard. It just gets overshined by a lot. Next up, Fisherman. I think Fisherman's an average card. It's not used too much besides RG, so we'll leave him in C tier for now. Alright, let's keep going. I'm going to put these in, we don't talk about these, just to clear up some space for now. And, alright, cool. They're just arenas. I don't feel like ranking the arenas right now. Maybe I'll do that in another video, or at least my favorite arenas. But Spear Gob Hut, putting it right here. We don't have to say a word about it. Next up, Mega Knight. Mega Knight will go into B tier. It is a pretty good card. I mean, not great card, don't get me wrong. It's easy for a lot of mid-ladder players like myself to use, even though I don't use it too often. I definitely like to make a few videos with it because I know you guys enjoy it, so we'll leave them in B tier. Next up, the Snowball. Definitely in C tier. It's not used too often, but it's definitely a lot more used than Zap, I feel like. So we'll leave it in C tier. Next up, Mighty Miner. Mighty Miner's not as good as it used to be. It's definitely a B tier card, but it used to be an S tier card. I miss those days. Let me know if you guys feel the same way down below. I would like to know what you guys think about that. Alright, next card, Mega Minion. Solid C tier card. Definitely had its moments before in the past, but for a while now it's been pretty much an average card. And the Monk I'm going to put in the same boat. Honestly, it's not too great anymore. I don't really see anybody use it, to be honest. But I'm kind of happy about that. I don't want to see everybody using the Monk. It's definitely not fun going up against it all the time. Alright, next one is the Mortar. Mortar's in a weird spot right now, I feel like, but definitely not bad. It's definitely higher C tier or B tier, based up to your interpretation. But the Evo Mortar, where are we going to put this? I think we're going to put it in A tier, high A tier. I think that's a good spot for it. It's not completely busted, but it is really, really good. In probably another meta, it'll be fantastic. Minor is going to be S tier. There's no doubt about it. Minor poison is running rampant right now, so we definitely have to put that in S tier. Next up, the Hunter, D tier. I barely see anybody use this anymore. It's really in a terrible spot. I almost want to put it in F, but it almost takes everything out that's super close to it, so can't put it in F tier. Next up, Magic Archer. I think is a B tier card. It used to be an A or S tier card, but now those days are over. Alright, next up, Mini P.E.K.K.A. Where do I want to put it? I want to put it in either A or S. Just the damage for the elixir is insane. So we're going to go on to the Lumberjack. Probably put it in, no, not D tier. We'll put it in C tier. It's not as great as it used to be, but actually that's completely a lie. Don't listen to me at all, guys. It's probably, I don't know. I really don't know where to put the Lumberjack, honestly. C or B tier. I'm just going to leave it in C tier for now. Next up is the P.E.K.K.A. The P.E.K.K.A.'s been in a bad spot. I'm going to put it in D tier. P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam is gone. Next up, the Skellies. Skellies will go into, I'll put them in B tier because they're not as great as they used to be, but the Evo Skellies are fantastic. They are definitely an S tier card. I'll put them up here. But yeah, Evo Skellies, broken. Not in all cases, but, you know, split them in the back, and against some decks, you pretty much can almost win. It's insane. Alright, this next card has received so many nerfs that now, like, nobody plays it. The Phoenix, it's definitely in caliber with the Mega Minions still, especially that it respawns an egg if you get lucky, but definitely an average card now. And we're definitely getting down to the end here, guys. Alright, I have to be biased with the Zappies. It's my profile picture, guys. Zappies, I'm going to put in C tier. They should probably be in D tier, but nobody uses the Zappies anymore. Next up, the Mother Witch. Mother Witch, I feel like, is a B tier card right now. It's definitely being used a lot more than it used to be. But we'll take a quick look at everything again. Alright. Next up, the E-Wiz. I want to put it in C tier. It's not... I don't feel like it has enough to put it in B. It has its moments, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's definitely a C tier card. And I want to put the Inferno Dragon there as well. It's not a great meta for the Inferno Dragon, honestly. But next up, Evo RG. I will put this in... I want to put it in high A tier, but I feel like I have to put it in S tier because so many people use it. So I'll put it in S tier. I don't feel like so many people use it, but a good amount do. And the regular RG is probably in B tier. That's where I'll leave it for now. The Rage, I'll put in D tier. Next up, Skeleton Army, in C tier. Royal Hogs, I will put in A. Honestly, maybe S. I'll leave them in S for now. But the Hogs are running rampant. Can't stop the Hogs. Rocket, D tier. Don't have to say much about that. Muskie, I feel like Muskie will always be a pretty good card. Put it up in B tier, honestly. Alright, next up... Oh, did I not do the regular knight? I would say B or A tier. I guess I'll put him up in A tier. He's a solid card. Ram Rider, D tier. I don't know what this Barbarian is. I'm just going to put him in F tier. Oh, the Little Rascals. Not Little... Did I just say Little Rascals? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. The Little Prince. S tier for sure. I mean, do I have to say anything about that? It is completely broken even after it got nerfed. The Royal Recruits, I will put in C. And their evolution, I think, goes right into A tier. Can't complain about that. They're still really good, but not the best evolution. And these are the Spear Gobs. I'll put them in C tier. C or D. They're just a few elixir, so it's hard to put them that low. Alright, let's see. We have the Poison. I'm either going to put it in A or S tier, I think. I'll put it in S for now. It's just the most used spell, I feel like, besides Fireball. But let's see. Mirror. We're just going to put that in F tier. We don't need to say much. The Valkyrie we're going to put in C. And the Evo Valkyrie, I feel like, is not that good, guys. Honestly, I'll put it in A tier just because it's an Evo and it's obviously still really good. But the Valkyrie is not comparable to the Knight, honestly. It just has a tornado. It can be useful in some situations, but other than that, I wouldn't really say so. Alright, Tornado. I think we have to put it in S tier. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think the Tornado is an S tier card? I probably would say so, honestly. Alright. Next up, the Royal Ghost. Right in the C tier. Pretty average. Sparky. Same thing. It's hard to put it in D tier when it does so much damage. Next up is the Tesla. Tesla's in B tier. And we're getting down to the last few guys. I don't know if the Evo wall breakers are on here. But the Skelly Barrel, we'll put into C tier as well. Just the delivery. The delivery will go into B or A tier. I'm just going to put it in B for now. And we'll take a look real quick because we're getting near the end here. Alright. So let me know what you guys think you'd do differently down below. As we're getting to the last few cards here. I'll go back up real quick. But let's see. It's just a Princess. C tier. Not too great. Witch. D tier. Wizard. D tier. I want to do the Expo actually next. Expo is actually in a pretty good spot this meta. I would say high B tier, maybe like on the verge of A tier. But if I put that in A tier, then I have to put the Hog. I'm going to put the Hog in A tier. It's hard not to. It's still not a great meta for the Hog, but next up, the Wall Breakers. We're going to act like these are the Evo Wall Breakers. So we're going to put them in S tier. How do you not? They're so good right now. Every single person's using them. And yeah, they are just broken. Skelly Drags, they're D tier. The splash is just always terrible with the Skelly Drags. And what do we have left? We have 3 Musketeers. I'm not sure what those 3 Skellies are right there. They're not the actual skeletons. 3 Musketeers are just terrible. I don't see anybody use them anymore. And we have the Rascals here. We're going to put them into D tier. But yeah, guys. Oh, what do we have left? The Skeleton King is in probably C or low B tier right now. It is a champion. It's hard to put it that low. We have the Fireball. Fireball will go into A tier. And we have the Zap. Zap is in a bad spot, but I'll put it in C tier because it's not that bad. But alright, guys, that's pretty much our list right here. I'll start at the top and let you guys see it one more time. And yeah, guys, let me know what you would change down below. But we are super close to 2,000 subscribers, guys. I really appreciate all the love and support. But yeah, guys, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would be awesome. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you back in the next video. Peace.